Do you remember when there was unity among female rap, all friends, and got along with no beefing? Me either. A lot of people seem to think that women in hip hop back in the day all and respected one another. Clashing only started in the last 3 decades. It is kind of true that female MCs embraced each other in the male dominated genre, but the girls have always found themselves in some kind of falling out. In fact, it was a female rapper who created diss records. Since the 80s, female rappers have flexed their skills and channeled their anger in diss tracks aimed at one another. But sometimes things went too far. The decades long feud between Foxy Brown and Lil Kim has been the most notorious feud of them all, no pun intended. The former friends let comparisons from the media drive them apart. And as a result, someone almost lost their life, and one of the women ended up in prison for charges related to the incident. Sadly, that drama didn't stop the girls from beefing. In the last video I did on women in hip hop, I gave you guys a brief history on their rise to prominence and the first female rappers you never heard of. In this video, I'm gonna give you guys the time now. I'm not gonna mention everyone. The women who put it on rap beef and feuds.
Fight, and two top R&B artists are caught in the middle, Foxy Brown and Lil Kim.
Long as I got confirmation I was sprayed with, so I dropped it.
Did y'all hear that motherfucking diss track Remy Ma did, man?
Before the brawl, Cardi B arrived in an elaborate Dolce & Gabbana gown, vamping for photographers. Minutes later, Nicki Minaj showed up for the Harper's Bazaar party and also posed for the cameras. But when these two beauties crossed paths, watch out, an ugly melee ensued. One report says Nicki deliberately stepped Cardi's train and then said something nasty about Cardi's baby daughter.
But before we get into the drama, I want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, Babbel. They are one of the top language learning platforms in the entire world, and their lessons are designed by real language teachers. A lot of female rappers have rapped in Spanish at some point in their careers, and that's typically where I stop singing along. With my spring break and summer vacations coming up, I'm trying to get a little more fluent in Spanish and learn how to roll my R's better so that I can communicate with Spanish-speaking people. Luckily, Babbel's speech recognition feature will help me improve my pronunciation and accent. They offer online courses in 13 languages with multiple cool ways to learn, ranging from games to podcasts. And they'll have you speak in a new language. Head to the special link in the description box to get 60% off your Babbel subscription, or you can simply scan the QR code on the screen. They also have a 20-day money-back guarantee, so hurry up and get started learning a new language before your spring break vacation. Thank you again to Babbel for. In 1984, a 14-year-old aspiring rapper named Lolita Shantae Gooden started the first known rap beef. The Queens native was a part of the Juice Crew hip-hop collective and would battle rap around the neighborhood. There was a Brooklyn-based rap trio named UTFO, whose best-known single is Roxanne Roxanne, the B-side of their single Hanging Out. The single was a misogynistic response to women who turned down their advances. The group ended up bailing on a local show being produced by Shantae's neighbor Marley Marl and Mr. Magic. Frustrated with their failure to appear at the concert, the two promoters, along with Tyrone Williams, had a discussion outside the housing project where they all resided. Shantae overheard the conversation and offered to record a revenge response to Roxanne Roxanne under the moniker Roxanne Shantae. The guys took up her offer, and Marley was the one who produced the track. She freestyled over an instrumental that sampled the original Roxanne Roxanne beat for 7 minutes, responding from the point of view of the so-called Roxanne, and the track was titled Roxanne's Revenge.
So when he came up to me, I told him to step back. He said, "You call yourself an MC." I said, "This is true." He said, "Explain to me really what MCs must be." Better listen very close, because I don't say this every day. My name is Roxanne, and they call me Shantae. But every time I say I'm a disser like a disser.
It caused a lot of buzz around the neighborhood and eventually sold over 250,000 copies in the New York area alone. Roxanne's revenge kicked off the infamous Roxanne Wars with the teenage rapper, and dozens of responses and diss tracks aimed at Shantae were made and told from different perspectives of people claiming to be related to the character. Many women took part in this beef craze and released their own take on the situation, like I'm Lil Roxanne by Tanganyika, The Parents of Roxanne by Gigolo Tony and Lacey Lace, Rappin' Roxanne, Roxanne's Sister by DW and the Party Crew featuring Roxy, Ice Roxanne by Little Ice, and Sparky's Turn, Roxanne You're Through by Sparky D. UTFO and Full Force recruited female rapper Elise Jack to record a counter-response to Shantae titled The Real Roxanne. But when plans fell through with Elise, they replaced her with Adelaide Martinez to do the job. The track was made to outperform Shantae's track, but it failed to do so. But solo female rappers were finally on the map, thanks to Roxanne Shantae. She called out a lot of rappers by name on her Bite This track a few years later, and found herself embroiled in many other beefs for years to come, taking shots at Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo, MC Lyte, Salt and Pepper, and more on her 1992 diss track Big Mama. Shantae's boldness would go on to inspire many other feuds in the decades that followed. In 1988, MC Lyte released her very own diss track aimed at rapper Antoinette titled 10% Diss, after the FemC used her beat for her own track.
Suckers steal a beat when you know they can't win. You stole the beat. Are you having fun?
Beat biter, dope style taker.
Hit me, why don't you? Hit me, why don't you? Milk's bodyguard.
But this was just the beginning of a never-ending craze. Throughout the 90s, male rappers and hip-hop collectives waged war against each other on diss tracks and in the streets. But some female rappers ended up being targeted in the crossfire. Women had already established their spot in hip-hop by this time. They were chart toppers, Grammy Award winners, and eventually landed other gigs outside of music. On the rise in the middle of the decade were two young femcs from Brooklyn, Kimberly Lil' Kim Jones, and Inga Foxy Brown Marshan. Kim and Foxy started out as high school friends who ended up joining all-male rap collectives. Both girls broke through the industry at the same time, and their careers were nearly identical. They had similar rap styles. Both were under Lance Rivera's management. Both featured on the remix to Total's No One Else in 1995. They ended up releasing their debut albums just 1 week apart from each other in November 1996. And both ladies shared a cover on The Source magazine for their February 1997 issue. But Kim and Foxy had to deal with non-stop comparisons and rivalry rumors. But they always remained friendly and denounced the rumors, with Foxy telling The Source, "People be acting like me and Lil' Kim are the Thelma and Louise of rap music. But Kim is my girl. I went out and bought her record the first day it came out because we've known each other for a while. We used to talk on the phone about trying to get a deal and stuff like that. I want us to do a song together. Something that would bring the ill Nana vibe together with her Queen Bee style, like a female version of Brooklyn's finest." End quote.
Listen, coming up, we got my girl, a joint for my girl. That's right, y'all. Brown, baby. That's right, Fox Brown. New joint coming out, about to hit y'all. Off her new album, we got her first single featuring Black Sheep. Yeah, y'all, it's the bomb. Check it out. We're gonna hit y'all with it in a minute after I find my files in here.
Well, what do you say, about people who compare you and Kim? Is that by understanding? We all are good friends.
Real good friends. I take that as a compliment. Kim does her thing. She's Queen Bee, and I give it up to her. She did she was doing a thing before me. She paved the way. Right. She was the first one coming out with the little, the sexy things. Right. She did her thing, and she's doing her thing, and that's my girl. So at the end of the day, when all the haters are still yapping, we said back counting our millions, like, how much you got for that remix? You got a new plaque on your wall? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's all good.
Foxy
has cellular service. They are on sure that every
gave Kim a shout out on her on a title track. Later in the year, Leah Cohen offered Kim and Foxy $500,000 each to record an album together to be titled Thelma and Louise. Both women declined the offer, and this move finally solidified the feud rumors. Though both women continue to downplay the gossip, behind the scenes, their egos started clashing.
Welcome everyone to Alicia Intellectual Talks. I'm glad you all came. I just wanted to record the video again by Black Feminist TV. Special credits to them. I do not hold no rights to their documentary, which I just wanted to introduce women of color and show how they are in hip hop. And hip hop is really relevant to people of color. It's a part of our culture. And I'm an 80s baby, so you know. Welcome. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, Facebook Live, and we're also on Alicia Intellectual's personal page, Talks. Thank you all for coming. And so far, we're just gonna recap that there was a beef between Roxanne Shante and another crew. Then the other crew had the lady Antoinette come in, and she tried to do a diss track to try to get back at Roxanne Shante. Then it turned into a whole full beef battle where everybody tapped in using Roxanne's name, which is crazy. And then it went from Roxanne Shante and Antoinette took MC Light's beat. So MC Light was like, okay, I'm going to come out with a diss track on Antoinette for not asking me, are you enjoying yourself with my beat? So then it went from MC Light to then it jumped over to Queen Latifah going at it with Foxy Brown, then Foxy Brown and Little Kim, and then Foxy Brown, Little Kim, and Queen Pen, and so on and so on. So it's gonna all get down to the point where you're gonna see Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and things of that nature, and it's all about hip hop. So let's continue.
This is toward each other in lyrics. But it is both women the same jumpsuit for their album shoot. Foxy also appeared on the Apollo after Kim, wearing a similar look. Kim Osario, journalist and former editor-in-chief of The Source, said, I remember hearing that one had borrowed the outfit from the other, and that led them to not speaking. Whatever the reason, it seemed trivial to everyone around. End quote. Both women covered Vibe magazine for their February 1998 cover, featuring Method Man, LL Cool J, Busta Rhymes, Master P, Missy Elliott, and Lauryn Hill. Later in the year, when Foxy covered the December issue, she credited Kim as the person that helped her land a deal with Nas and his crew, but finally admitted that the two were no longer friends, saying, it didn't have to do with Kim and I personally. It was just the people around us. On the subject of the Thelma and Louise project, she said, at the time we were supposed to record, we weren't speaking. Un came to me and said, I know you and Shorty ain't on the best of terms right now, but... And at first, I wasn't really with it. The day after, Kim called me, but when you have two women who were once friends, who have bitter feelings to each other, and are getting fed bull from every angle, the conversation was useless. I was talking to a dial tone. Foxy went on to say that she still went to the studio to record anyway. Kim never showed up. But Foxy went on to thank Kim for being the first person to reach out to her when her and her mother were robbed at gunpoint that past July. As for Kim's side of the story, she says, Foxy and I were supposed to do this Thelma and Louise song together, and I thought it was a great idea for us to do it, but there was a lot of attitude going on between the both of us. I figured I'm older than her, let me take control, but the feedback I got was not nice. I called her and asked her if we could do it. She said, I already told your people I'm not doing it. That was amazing to me. I made the initiative and got shot down. Then it was like, I don't know, I just didn't understand it. And that shit hurt my feelings. Of course, there was silence on both ends of the phone at that point. I mean, she hugged me at the Soul Train Awards after I won and told me congratulations, and I congratulated her too. But I still hear stuff, and I know I can't believe everything I hear. Regardless, she's still my sister, but I'd rather just stay away. End quote. Foxy Brown's second studio album, China Doll, arrived in January 1999, and people took notice to her seemingly taking shots at Kim on the track My Life.
My girls ain't the same, guess it's cause the fame. Bitches smell on my face and throw dirt on my name. Mad cause I made it, now friends intimidated. Hate you was my sister. We used to dream together, how we could make it real big, do our thing together. Elma and Louise together. Remember them days when I separate ways, separate lives, lost friendship for pride.
Months later, Kim appeared on Play Around by Lil C's featuring Diddy.
When I come through, you be on the side holding your cups like the bums do, waiting for the queen to put some change in.
After Kim delivers her verse, Diddy chimes in to say,
"Don't forget it,"
which people took as a direct shot at Foxy.
I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I'm a leader. Yeah, I'm some following. Coming in this game
on Kim's 2000 sophomore album,
Okay, you're watching Alicia Intellectual Talks. I just wanted to explain this. Do we think that it's possible that Little Kim was beefing or stopped messing with Foxy Brown because Foxy Brown started to copy her style? And it's like sometimes when people, you be thinking they like you and then they be low key liking you just to take from you. Now, this is just an opinion. I like Foxy Brown too. I love you too, Foxy, but I'm just coming from this knowledge that this could be the reason, because Little Kim has the astrology sign of a Cancer. And when we like you and when we're loyal to you, we're loyal. Like, it has to be something that you've done for us to not mess with you. So it's just the way she's saying like her feelings was hurt and stuff like that. I think it's a little bit more to it. Let's get back to it, y'all. You're watching Alicia Intellectual Talks.
Her and name drops the firm on the title track with the lyrics.
In all actuality, they wanna be me. This chick running around with a finger gap and fake raps having panic attacks. Let them see before you and your firm. This was natural.
Foxy then responded a few months later on Capone and Noriega's Bang Bang, name-dropping Diddy and referencing Kim's relationship with Biggie. Remixed her Quiet Storm mix.
hot damn hole, here we go again. Light as a rock, just hard as a
hot damn hole, here we go again. Pop like a cock, lightweight as your rock. Let the rest in peace and hop off this. Do you?
And just a few months later, shots were really fired. On February 26, 2001, as Lil' Kim and her entourage were leaving the Hot 97 radio station, they encountered Capone and others affiliated with Foxy Brown. An altercation erupted, 21 shots rang out, and someone from Capone's entourage was injured. Foxy says she tried to reach out to Kim after the incident to smooth things over, but her efforts didn't work out.
I had nothing to do with the shooting.
But the hip-hop diva did fire shots in the war of words that preceded the madness. Rap lyrics pointed squarely at Lil' Kim.
The album pushed back, but when it hit the streets, it's still weak. It still sound lame, and my name is still Rain.
Isn't this kind of like throwing fuel on the fire?
After 2-3 years of just being verbally attacked, I felt like I owed it to my fans.
Foxy says Lil' Kim pointed similar lyrics at her first. Now Foxy Brown, who was working on her new album at the time of the shooting, has invited Lil' Kim and her crew to make peace.
We just want to stop it. We just want to say, look, let's put an end to it. Thank you, AJ.
Many
before you buy anything on another time on until you watch this first.
Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon and Target. You can drop prices automatically. I can show you how, but I can't do it for you. People are saving real money doing this. 160 million in
involvement in the altercation, including committed perjury when she was questioned during the 3 separate grand jury appearances about whether 2 of her associates were present. Security footage was obtained that showed her next to the 2 individuals before bullets started flying. And for that very reason, Lil' Kim was sentenced to 1 year in prison for 3 counts of perjury and 1 count of conspiracy. But in the 4 years leading up to her sentence, her and Foxy continued to diss each other in their music. And in between then, Foxy found herself in other beefs. Back in 1996, Foxy reportedly mocked Queen Latifah for secretly being a member of the LGBT community at the time and checking her out at events. Queen addressed her with the track Name Calling, which was featured on the Set It Off soundtrack. She even brought Kim into it.
Style you slow, try to mix it up and make it blend. Sound like Lauren with a dash of Little Kim. We know bootleg Korean cop and scheming hoe. I know it's bootleg cause they misspell Moschino.
Foxy issued a response with a track that interpolates MC Light's diss track of the same name. Foxy also spewed homophobic remarks towards Queen Pen on the same track.
Are you mad rap cause I'm half your age? Feel like 8 balls on some shit that'll double your pay. Y'all confused that chick, now you straight or you gay. Then that shit fit. You like ain't no more.
Penn took offense to the song and confronted Foxy in a hotel lobby. A physical altercation erupted, but was broken up by Foxy's crew. Queen Pen ran into Foxy a short time after, and the same exact thing happened. Queen Latifah responded with a second version of name calling. This time, she called Foxy's music and performances weak and accused her of relying on sensuality to sell records. Of course, Foxy responded again with another diss track titled Talk to Me, directed at both Penn and Queen, dissing the Queen Latifah show ratings. In 2001, Penn responded with her song I Gotcha, calling Foxy a bum and comparing her to a drag queen.
You real funny to me, like a drag queen with heels and a head full of weed. Bum. Yeah, I said it, and I never will regret it.
70,000 in the first week, that's just ridiculous. You had one more point you wanted to make. She needs the mic.
I just want one thing. If I should say it or not, but since we're up here talking about leading by example and for tonight, myself want to end an olive branch to Queen. I had Riley with tonight. So I'll reach out to you and we can start leading tonight.
Fitting way. That's a very powerful message.
Newcomer Eve and Foxy also had their own set of issues. Foxy, who was engaged to rapper Corrupt at the time, was allegedly having an affair with DMX, who was also married at the time, during the recording of Dog and a Fox from her China Doll album. This resulted in beef between both male rappers, and tension brewed between her and Eve, who was a part of X's crew. She ended up taking shots at both Foxy and Lil' Kim on Let Me Blow Your Mind and Double R What, accusing them of using ghostwriters and being too concerned with fashion.
Some of y'all ain't writing well, too concerned with fashion. None of you ain't Giselle, can't walk and imagine. Your chances are slim, cause when God made Adam, he should have made Kim.
And her and Foxy went back and forth on tracks for a while.
First of all, she's playing herself. She's looking real weak because any person showing the world, letting the world know how jealous you are of a person, and you weak. She's a miserable. I don't know why she's mad at herself. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing to do with what she looking at in the mirror in the morning. She can't stand who she looking at in the morning. Sweetheart, Eve been Eve. She knew me since '97. I ain't never been no broke bum. When she came, she know what the deal is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I stopped playing. Like, I'm really glad that I could be an inspiration to her ghostwriter. I don't know who he is, but I don't know what I did to him, but they both mad at me right now. And I'm going to let the fans know, I'm not even going to waste my time going in the studio doing no song against that girl. Doing a song against Foxy Brown ain't putting no money on my books. I'm getting too many checks right now.
Right.
Like, if you want to come see me, come see me. I'm not with this. Eve is my real name. Foxy Brown is a character.
Inga.
Foxy Brown is a character. So come out that character. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. I write my own song. I write my own song.
Publishing.
So, and another thing, I'm definitely not going to waste time writing a song about this chick so I can wait on her to pick somebody to write a song back to me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't my fault. She's been out since '96 and her bank account looks the same.
There was really nothing to patch up. I don't like Eve. Like, I don't like her. It has nothing to do with music. It's something that she did that was very disrespectful a couple years ago.
What did she do, Foxy?
Honestly,
Yes.
no one knows this. But the reason why Corrupt ever found out anything about DMX having a crush or liking me was through her.
Oh.
So I approached her, and she ran from me.
Oh.
Here, point blank. Okay. She ran, and I've never seen after that. And she has made attempts to like try to reconcile the situation, but I was like, you know, not my man. Like, you don't bring none of that to my man. I don't care who you trying to bone to get on. Like, that's a legitimate relationship. I have a ring on my finger. Like, don't ever go to that.
I reported that.
Hurt.
I reported that in Philly, though.
Oh, you
that
did?
You and DMX had a thing, and
no, we
Corrupt
didn't.
found out
That was
it.
it. Let me
Corrupt
clarify
came
that.
on the show and co-signed, right, Artie?
Yeah, Corrupt is also with Suge right now. Please. Let me just be honest and tell you exactly, because I'm being really, really honest right now.
Okay.
No, DMX and I never had anything. What happened was there was a tour called Survival of the Illest, a Def Jam tour, and we were in Philly. I came out to perform with Cormega, who was the opening act. We were at a club together, and being that Foxy Brown and DMX were the two known artists, they were like, shout out to Foxy Brown and DMX in the house, in the same sentence, in Philly. Your girl now, who's not signed, who's sitting in the corner with, I don't even want to go there, but
who was she sitting in the corner with?
Some
Stevie
girls.
J? Oh.
How you doing?
Oh, okay.
Mind you, when she saw him, she was like, look, I'm about to get down with Rough Riders. DMX is trying to get at your girl.
Okay.
He likes your girl. Corrupt and does a song called Calling Out Names.
Oh, wow.
Which could have gotten somebody hurt.
Right.
And I told her from then, anywhere I see, like I told her before, like, if I ever catch you in the street,
right.
I saw her in front of my old publicist's office. She ran. D and Y came out.
How you doing?
From D and Y came out from Rough Riders, and I'm like, Foxy, come on, you bigger than that. Like, let it go. I let it go for years. No one knew about that.
Okay.
I never said it until she was in interviews being subliminal about Kim and I.
Okay.
And I took that very personal.
Okay. Damn it.
Foxy had many other falling outs with female rappers in the 2000s, including Charlie Baltimore, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, Natina Reed, Remy Ma, which resulted in Foxy getting strands of her hair yanked out and punched on another occasion, and Jackie O, which ended in a physical altercation at a recording studio in Miami.
Long as I got confirmation I was straight with, so I dropped that.
Lil' Kim, on the other hand, had good friendships with her peers and had the most successful career of them both. While things were cooling off between Kim and Foxy, there were other female rap beefs brewing down south. There was the unfortunate falling out between Diamond and Princess Crime Mob. We had Miami rappers Jackie O and Trina versus Kaya over the Queen of South title. Jackie O had her crew wear t-shirts that said Kaya on the front and Jackie O, Queen of the South, on the back.
She a fan. It's cool. You can be a fan. I guess she mad because I sound the Queen of Florida. All right, you want to be the queen? You could be the queen. Queen of the Florida Everglades. Swamp monster. What's her name? Kia? Kaya. Yeah, that's my neck, my back hole. Kaya.
But I'm about to make you bow down to the queen of the south. Now, ho, what you gonna name your baby? Baby, man, I love you, little easy, but that ain't your baby. All this talk about wacky, yo, being the queen of the south. Yeah, you a queen of drag queen.
Other than the feuds just mentioned and some other underground rap beefs, we wouldn't really hear of many feuds until the next generation of female rappers started breaking through.
Hi, from a professional CSE. I guiding you the journey of getting your hands on plants. Do you want to know everything there is about biology, extractions? Do you want to see the interior of the laboratory? Has words I can't say in it, but we're growing a lot of it.
serving time in prison for their legal troubles. And most of the mainstream female rappers from that era had seen a major decline in popularity. Men were back to dominating the genre. Meanwhile, there was a Trinidadian-born rapper residing in Jamaica, Queens, New York, named Onika Tanya Mirage, who went by the Manaj. After graduating from LaGuardia High School of Music and Performing Arts, Nicki joined a rap quartet named the Hood Stars and eventually started posting solo music to her MySpace page.
To let them know that I'm the one. Way I ride the drum, they salute me in the slum. In the 600 color of.
She was eventually signed to Dirty.
Hold up, did y'all just see Safari? Y'all did know that Nicki Minaj and Safari used to date. You all are watching Alicia Intellectual Talks. And just to recap, now we're going to pass Foxy Brown to now the new birth of Nicki Minaj.
And within 3 years, she released the 3 critically acclaimed underground mixtapes, Playtime Is Over, Sucker Free, and Beam Me Up, Scotty. Nicki's flow and personal style caught the attention of the likes of Wayne. From very early on in her career, she's a Barbie persona, wearing vibrant colors, pink streaks in her hair, and a diamond Barbie chain. The aesthetic was similarly done by Lil' Kim back in the early 2000s, but Nicki frequently credited both her and Foxy as her musical influences.
As real as her, no, not Tim. Who's your best MCs? Nick, Fox, and Kim.
I think when you come out though, you think people are gonna be like, oh, this is not Lil' Kim. She's trying to do this, she's trying to do that.
If they compare me to the queen of rap, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know how can because
Hello, before we even go into this part with Nicki Minaj, I did not know that Nicki Minaj had paid so much homage to Lil' Kim because they have a beef, because she kind of copied. That's why I always kind of really didn't feel Nicki Minaj, because I felt like Nicki Minaj copied Lil' Kim's style and didn't give her, no props or no respect. But looking at these previous interviews, it appears that she did give her some respect. But I still don't understand how she ran with it and just start dissing her afterwards. That's what I don't understand, how she started dissing all type of females in hip hop. And I thought that we all supposed to support each other, but we really, now if we see this documentary, we really can't be hard on Nicki Minaj, because beefs between women of color have been happening since the 80s, or even previous than the 80s. And that's just something that we need to change.
no one has had a stronger movement than she's had. So
Met, Lil' Kim, and I was paying homage to her, saying, I love Lil' Kim. You know what I'm saying?
I look up to the main girls that, was able to make a name for themselves. Kim, Foxy, I don't mind. I mean, Foxy and Kim are, they're icons.
But the problems really started when Foxy told Nicki to stop giving Kim props because she secretly hated her. Once Nicki gained mainstream success, Kim felt that she had completely stolen her aesthetic without giving proper credit. Around this time, a Baltimore rapper named Keys released a diss video on YouTube rhyming over the same Soulja Boy beat that Nicki used for her Itty Bitty Piggy track, calling her out for lyrics that asserted her dominance over every female rapper.
I don't get this. Nigga put me on a salary. Now who is going to pop up? Go hard, not stop. I use your last mixtape to wipe my new snot off. I am an infection. How you going to stop it?
So in early 2020, we had this idea to launch a equity marketplace. And in doing so, we needed a technology partner, and we found AirDev, and we thought we'd give them a try and work with them.
Nicki fine. But she's and clown in a him would then link up for a mini tour, most likely to get under Nicki's skin. Her Pink Friday debut album was a commercial success and spent 11 weeks on the Billboard Hot 200 albums chart, with the second highest sales debut for a female rapper. It generated 8 top 40 hits in the United States, a major milestone for female rappers. But she seemingly dissed Lil' Kim on tracks like Did It On 'Em, Roman's Revenge, and I'm the Best.
And we ain't making up, I don't need a mediator. Just let them bums blow steam. Then I'm fighting for the girls that never thought they could win. Cause before they could begin, you told them it was the got 2 bones to pick. I'ma only choose one. You might get addressed on the second album. The fuck I look like getting back to a has-been. Yeah, I said it, has been. You need a job, this ain't cutting it. Nicki Minaj is who you ain't with. You out of work, I know it's tough. But enough is enough.
Nicki denied that the lyrics were even directed at Kim in her interviews, but went on to call Kim out for her numerous feuds and declining music career.
I've been having this thing with Kim, and I was just thinking about you and where you were from and that you're a rapper, and I'm thinking, sure, I know things have gotten crazy, and people are assuming, even though you say it's not specifically about
you know, she just really jumped out the window. And you gotta be careful when you pick fights. And that's what I've learned in this business. You just never know. Don't play with me. You know, it's one of those moments when you say, don't play with me. You know, because I respect you, I love you. I've said it in every interview, time and time again. And if that's not good enough with you, mama, then it's something deep rooted in you. You need to get something is bothering you inside. That's your insecurity bothering you. It's not Nicki Minaj. It would have been any girl that started popping. You know, she picked a fight with Foxy, then she picked a fight with Eve, then she picked a fight with Remy. Now it's, you know, then it was Miss Wallace, then it was Nicki Minaj. Every time you in the news, it's because you're getting at somebody. Where's your music? You know, put your music out, and when I see your name on Billboard, that's when I'll respond to you. Other than that, goodbye. Barbie bitch.
To take you back. She
just ran. And that doesn't take away from the respect. You know when a mom gotta beat you and she be like, it hurts me more to beat you than it hurt you?
Did it hurt your feelings?
It hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if it hurt your feelings.
It hurt my feelings because I remember I saw her on the tour with Wayne. And I had been hearing, you know, back, you know, in the business, people talk behind the scenes. And I remember I ran into Foxy, and Foxy said, why you keep on giving props to Kim? She don't like you. She was like, the girl be dissing you, like when, you know, in conversation. And I said, I'm so much of a like, diehard. I was like, until I hear her say something about me, I'm going to continue paying my respect to her in my interviews. And that's what I did. I kept on doing it. That's why everybody came out and said, Nicki always shows you love. Like, what are you talking about? So when I saw her at Wayne's concert, she performed with Keisha. She came into our dressing room. She went and used the bathroom and stuff. And I stopped her. I was like, you know, I want to make sure everything is cool with us because I'm a fan first. You know, is everything good? Everything good. We good. Hugs and kisses. Can I take a picture with you? I love you, you know. This is somebody that I looked at highly. We took a picture, everything was good. But you want to know what scares people? Success. When you don't make moves and when you don't climb up the ladder, everybody loves you because you're not competition. When you become competition, the people start, wait, hold on, wait. Let me wait. That's true. A loser.
Nicki Minaj is absolutely telling the truth, but the thing is that there's still something fishy about this. The fact that as soon as she got to fame, that she just, to me, switched. like on her thing. It's not taking sides. It's just trying to look at it like what makes a person even make fun of a person. Like if you're very successful, you know, you're going to have haters. But I just feel like why even make fun of her in front of her girl? Because that's her girl. As far as I remember, that was her girl. And that could put me in a very uncomfortable position. Like I couldn't interview my girls. If that's my girl, I ain't about to interview my ops. I think we got a problem with loyalty sometimes in this world. Like this is what I be talking about people of color, how we need to stick together because it be just certain little things in between there that still tries to kill the most dark melanated woman of it all. You know what I'm saying? People like to play us against each other. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing in the society is that it's always black on black crime. It's always us going against each other. Like any other cultures, they don't do that. They don't go against each other. We always seem to clash. And that's a deep rooted, I believe that's deep rooted racism. You know what I'm saying? We've learned so much of this society and this world has taught us to hate each other because a lot of us hate ourselves. And I'm sorry, originality stands out more than anything else. Originality can outlast than anything else. Like I'm gonna pay attention to how long your music and your hits, your #1 billboards, how long are they gonna last 20 years from now? Because like you could still hear a Michael Jackson and you could still hear a Fred Hammond or a Kim Burrell or a Ty Tribbett or a Kirk Franklin or Notorious B.I.G., who is one of the sweetest lyricists out there. You still gonna have things that last from all time. But let's get back to Nicki Minaj. I was trying to find somewhere to give her props. You know what I'm saying? But so far, no. So far, no. But I respect you. I still like Bees in the Trap. That's one of my favorites. Bees in the Trap. Yeah.
As opposed to going down in history as the queen. Because if you can't beat them, join them. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. You don't have to feel the need to put somebody down and make yourself feel better. I see people do things all the time that I think, they remind me of Nicki Minaj. But it's like, do you, honey? It's like we all take from each other. It's, when you see Gaga, you see Madonna. But Madonna never hated on Gaga. Why in the Black communities we gotta hate on each other instead of saying, thank you for showing me love. Thank you for, keeping my name alive. The same way she opened doors for me, I'm now opening doors for her. Because nobody was even playing your music and you damn sure couldn't get an interview to save your life. But now you get interviews and every time you do an interview, they asking you about Nicki Minaj. So it's like we help each other. That's the point. We're helping each other. But if you are bitter, get a life.
Kim retaliated with a 5-minute song titled Black Friday, released the same week as Pink Friday in November 2010, calling Nicki a Kim wannabe and her clone. She even released visuals for the song that mocked the new rapper.
I'm turning Pink Friday to Friday the 13th. Alright, you little Kim clone clown. All this buffoonery that stops now. Time for you to lay down. I'm sick of the fraud.
In February 2011, Kim released a 20-song mixtape of the same name dedicated to taking shots at Nicki. The tape was widely panned by critics and old fans of Kim's who thought that this behavior was beneath her and made her look bitter and jealous.
Like, say she says nothing else from this day forward.
See, in this industry, what I've learned is you never know. You just never know. And that's what I've learned in this industry. You just don't pick fights. And you don't pick fights with Kimmy Blanco. Because I'm not taking my foot off her neck. Now, you started this. Hope she ready for this. I'm not playing this. I'm not with that. They ain't gonna come and try to be like, oh, you know, woo, 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 you know, maybe, nah.
You know what I'm saying? Little Kim wrote the sexy Kim, I'm so really and I love her, right? But I've been seeing a lot of imitators, a lot of imposters trying to Kim too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Goldie. I run shit. Flattery will get you nowhere. I only get down with people I can trust. When you really care about somebody, you go that extra mile for them. This the ATL. Ain't nothing for free.
You know we know that.
Let's give them some action.
Put your money where your mouth is.
You know who I am.
October is my best month, and I think made 30K.
We were able to cross the 40K mark. We earned $40,300.
I'm at figures in terms of revenue in my business.
I have.
And I'm a little bit irritated by this because I'm like straight up, Kim is the best female rapper in the game. Fucking trying to dunk the style. You know what I'm saying? I swear I love y'all. Fucking trying to wear it, you know what I'm saying? Wear clothes, wear the wigs.
Baby comes to me, he gives me this record. Now, in my mind, I already knew that they was trying to break homegirl. So I said, I know they're gonna try to put her on the track or whatever. But
She was already down with them?
yeah, she was bubbling. She had a little buzz at the time.
Okay.
My thing was, if they did it, let's just make it big. Let's make sure we do a video. Let's make sure that it gets out there.
What happened at the video shoot? I heard
We never had a video shoot.
So what I heard some story that the video shoot was actually about to take place and she didn't show up or something.
No, that's not even close to the story. We never got a video shoot. My whole beef with it is we needed that video shoot, but their whole plot was to get me to do the record so I could stamp her and say, look, it's okay. Kim don't want this. Kim is done. Like, you know, basically they treated me like as if I wasn't even alive anymore. And I thought that was so disrespectful. And she was the only female out there, so she's loving this right now. Like, it's almost like, whoo. She strikes me as the type of female that if she was to be my friend, it would just be to get my swag, and once she got that, she would be out.
I mean, isn't it possible in this case she was like, oh, this kind of sucks, like Kim's a hero of mine? Because it's obvious. I thought the way she was playing early on was clear that she admired you.
Oh, baby, you mustn't do your homework. I got a collage that I'm putting together of little shots that she was taking even back then. And my thing is, you know,
verbal shots.
In raps, in just interviews, and just talking shit. And you could tell she really wasn't groomed. And I felt bad for her because I'm like, damn, if she get with me, then I could let her see how, you know, I could show her that how to kind of move in this game because she was moving wrong. But you could tell after she kind of, you know, started, you know, to get a little more buzz, you could tell somebody sat her down and said, listen.
Right. You didn't meet her when you recorded that record? They did it separately.
I met her one time at Lil Wayne's concert and I heard her tell the story on Hot 97 and I was laughing.
Well, it was lies, what you told Andy?
Kidding me? It didn't go down like that. Come on. So somebody saying to me, we good? What? I had to win her throat, snatched her larynx out. You kidding me? I go in the bathroom and she's in there and she's like, oh my goodness, we finally get to meet. Oh, she's like, oh my goodness, we finally. And I'm like, hi. And so she says to me,
the Fran Drescher voice is too good.
She asks me to take a picture with me. And I'm like, of course. But you know, I think I used the bathroom first or whatever. And came out and I took the picture with her. And then she was like, yeah, oh my fine. You are so small. You're so tiny. That's what she said, something like that. And I was like, laughing. I was smiling at her. And so I said, you know, I tapped her and I said, we need to talk. And I like you. I said it like that. You know, I like you.
That's Brooklyn.
She failed. Exactly.
Brooklyn.
She failed to mention that, but it's cool. So I said, we need to talk because I like you. And she looked at me. She was like, is everything okay? Is everything good? Like she was nervous. It didn't come out like everything good. You'll be good.
Oh.
If you have a problem with me, remember all this
didn't happen until later with me going on the road and Ray J coming out at the show and saying what he said. That didn't happen until later.
What did Ray J say?
People don't understand, but I know as time go on, people gonna go, "Oh, I get it," and I'm hoping that you guys get it now.
And it seemed when you was coming at Nikki, you was just being bitter and
But you're
disgruntled.
wrong.
You like the old. You remember Players
But
Club?
you're wrong. Let me tell you why you're wrong, and let me tell you why you did wrong, because it's deeper than that. And if you listen to that song, the way I did my vocals, hers is different from how I did my vocals at the time. Shortly, she started releasing all these records, doing her vocals the way I did my vocals. It was my sound. I brought that to the table. The problem with her is she was very catty with it. I never had a problem with her. I was always nice with her. Always. She was a very obnoxious person, but I was always nice with her. From the time I saw her in that dressing room, the story she told, I don't even know what the heck she was talking about. Like that's not even how it happened. But from the moment that I met her, I was always cool with her. But after that, it almost seems like when they realized, okay, we need Kim, we want to study her swag. That's what it kind of felt like, because I was around for a long time, and they're like, okay, let's study her swag, and we'll. And I think they wanted to get that record just to stamp that I was okay with what was going on. You understand what I'm saying? For me, it was a break back into rotation, into if that would have been a big event record, it would have been good for both of us. But I personally think they didn't want me to stand beside her. Which is stupid. She was always throwing shots. I don't know what you're talking about. You
never
need
heard
to
it.
go. You need, because you're not trying.
I used to hear her pay homage, like she said. She used to say, "I love Kim. I love
You're not
Foxy."
trying to do your homework. That's why, boo boo. You got to do your homework. If you go on all of those little the come up DVD, even with Fendi would even say it. Yeah. Because she was just a real cocky type of girl, whatever. She always wanted to be like you. She always wanted to be. And she would say, "I'm gonna take her spot." At Justin's birthday party, perfect timing to come up and say, "Hey, we did this together." Whoa. Nothing. And she looked at me and rolled her eyes, and I was like, "Really?" Every single record she's made was coming at me. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody who's smart with a brain, everybody who knows music knows damn well in that Puffy record she was coming at me. I didn't say nothing about this chick. I didn't say nothing about this chick at this time. She was coming at me in the Puffy record. She was coming at me on all these records that she was doing, the Jay and Kanye records. I didn't say nothing. She wanted to be the only female out there. So when Baby and them said, "We're not fucking with this shit because you can't stand next to her," she loved it, because she didn't want to stand next to me.
I think it's her.
She wanted to be out there by herself.
I think the
And
industry
my thing
puts
is-
women against each other all
Yeah,
the time.
they
though.
do. That's exactly what happened. And
it's-
my thing is, you have to be smart enough to say, "Yo, I don't know what they talking about, but you my bitch. Don't start coming at me in records, talking to me, just talking about me disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Indirectly. Don't do that."
What did you think of a performance by a certain hip hop artist who kind of rips off your style, if you don't mind me saying? What did you think of Nicki Minaj?
I didn't even know who was the who.
She's wearing a Little Red Riding Hood outfit.
Oh,
Yo,
if you have to make a song called "Stupid Hoe," you must be a stupid hoe.
This whole feud left people divided. On one hand, you had people calling Nicki a fraud for refusing to credit Lil' Kim for influencing her image, while others thought that Kim should just embrace a newcomer who was inspired by her as a legendary female rapper. In the end, the whole fiasco damaged Kim's image at the time, as Nicki kept things going by repeatedly dissing her, mocking her changing appearance, and referring to herself as the Queen, a title Kim once went by. As Nicki Minaj went on to become the biggest and most celebrated female rapper in the world, Kim, who once held that position, became a joke to the public, and people only saw her as an old femc who couldn't handle a new generation of female rappers thriving as her career was on the decline. Nicki told T Magazine that she wished Kim would embrace up-and-coming talent instead of dissing them, saying, "The thing that I want to promote is that if you see someone doing their thing, give them their props. We all have it hard and face the same challenges as female MCs. Show some mutual love and respect for each other so that it doesn't get nasty."
Hello, you are watching Alicia Intellectual Talks. I just wanted to say something, insert a comment here. The thing is that, Nicki Minaj is really good, but I just feel like as far as the way she represents with how she wants to be the queen, that's how they do it. It's like, when you're going at it, you pick and choose your battles, and then you go at them, and then you go raw, and then you try to get the title. But I also wanted to say that not necessarily in this documentary would I agree that Little Kim is washed or old, because she had a recent album that she came out with, and I loved that album. That last album that she just recently did, um, where she had the beige background. That was a very, very, very good album. Very, very mature lyrics. You could tell this Little Kim had matured as far as in the game of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I think that people need to respect that. Even with Foxy Brown, Queen Latifah, MC Light, Yo Yo, Queen Pen, all these beautiful women, they just need to be respected because they all have put down on wax what it means to write, what it means to be writers, what it means to be preachers and evangelists and pastors. Like all that is incorporated into writing.
Ordeal would become so ironic years down the line.
When the time
Nicki Minaj spent most of the 2010s decade as a visible female rapper. She was awarded the BET Award for Best Female Hip Hop Artist 7 consecutive times, had over a dozen top 10 singles, billions of views on her music videos on YouTube, and was named one of the most influential rappers of all time. By 2016, she was starting to wind down from the hectic 6 to 7 years of success and touring. In February 2017, she found herself in a feud with Remy Ma that nobody saw coming. The issues between the two started way back in 2007 when Nicki released her Dirty Money freestyle from her Playtime Is Over mixtape that Remy felt was a diss towards her, and she reportedly confronted the new female rapper at a mixtape release.
Nicki Minaj is gained and risen to basically to the top.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
I'm happy for her. That's great. I'm happy to see any black, young, young, old, doesn't even matter. Any chick that's from the hood trying to do a 1-2 thing, I'm happy. Like I'm pretty sure, like the hate, I see the hate that she gets. This is the same hate that I got when I was doing when I was home. I used to see Nick all the time. She came to my birthday party. I went to one of her parties, and I remember her from when she was on the come up DVD. She had her little baby fat bag, pulling stacks out the bag or whatever. Like I remember her seeing her coming up, and I remember how it used to be when I was doing the DVDs, when I was doing the smack DVDs, and the chicks that was that was out before me, and they used to be like, "Yo, yeah, man, whatever." But when I started doing my thing, they started throwing shade on me. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like when she came out, she had did a freestyle over the yeah beat. And she said, damn, I don't remember what she said, the exact line, but she said something like, tell the chick with the crown and running like Chris Brown. When I seen at her party, I was like, yeah, what was that line about? Like I brought it up to her, whatever. Like, I don't know, to this day, I think it was a stab at me. I'm gonna get you back for that, by the way. But it's cool. Like that's what you do in rap, and I'm cool with that. I'll be seeing like the hate that comes out. I'm pretty sure.
But not too long after, Remy was convicted of a few charges and began serving her prison sentence. So that situation kind of fizzled out, and Nicki would often say, "Free Remy."
Remy, Red. Shout out to Remy. Free Remy. You know what? Free Remy.
And Remy returned the love once she was released in August 2014, even suggesting a collaboration. Remy even congratulated her on winning the Best Female Hip Hop Artist Award in 2016. But a few months later, she appeared on a track with Fat Joe, seemingly taking shots at Nicki, and another time during a freestyle on Funk Flex's show.
All this talk about my son and your son. I'm hot and your whole world revolve around me. I am the son, wanted to be an icon, ended up like Akon. They finally let me out. Now I'm an ex-con. Everybody ratting. I really need.
So Nicki fires back on 2 new tracks, Jason Derulo's Swalla and Gucci Mane's Make Love.
Okay, these bitches 2 years, now your time's up. Bless her heart, she throwing shots, but every line sucks. The queen of this here, 1 platinum plaque album flop. Where? To be the queen of rap, you gotta sell records, you gotta get plaque.
Not even 24 hours later, on February 26, 2017, Remy unleashed a 7-minute diss record named Sheether, calling Nicki out for everything under the sun, referencing the charges her brother was convicted of, her allegedly having a ghostwriter, her alleged botched plastic surgery, and pressed Nicki for taking an old tweet of hers about people being her sons and making it her catchphrase.
My jail tweet and run, talking about bringing knives to a fight with guns when the only shot you ever took was in your buns. You were screaming free Remy when I was upstate doom, but now that they free Remy, you don't sing the same tune. No, to be the queen of rap, you can't have a ghostwriter, and that's why this is my house, Flow Writer, at Troll, a web browser. I'm sorry, you can't get it online without Safari.
Nicki didn't respond with a song immediately, but she posted things on social media, poking fun at Remy's album sales, posted a clip of Beyonce referring to her as a rap queen, and attacked Trey Songz for not coming to her defense. Remy continued to taunt her with another song, social media posts, and appeared on the Wendy Williams show dressed as if she was attending a funeral.
A lot of people have very short attention spans for 7-minute songs. But I stopped, started, repeated, stopped, started. I fell on the floor. I got up. I crawled to the telephone to, call somebody. I mean, why was Nicki targeted?
She started, and then, I feel that is weird because she's been doing this to a lot of females, from Little Kim to Mariah to Taylor to Hannah, and no one says anything. The behind the scene things that you people will never know about, as far as trying to keep me off of red carpets and trying to make sure awards don't go to me, or she's not going to be in attendance, or trying to get people to make bad reports about my album sales, or just anything that I'm doing to make me look less and make her look better. And I have a problem when you're trying to stop my bag, when you're trying to stop me from taking.
Wait a minute, but did you all just peep how Remy Ma basically said the same words that Nicki Minaj said when she was in Angie Martinez's radio interview? So, these sisters, man, they know how to play this rap game very well. I love Remy Ma. I even love the fact that Remy Ma was in the interview in the jail and sound exactly the same as she sound now. I respect her.
Taking care of my children.
The internet was going absolutely nuts over this diss track, and dozens of celebrities reacted and voiced their support for Remy Ma.
This delivery. Okay, so first, Domino's.com. Choose your favorite pizza, or in my case, 4. Then click the Honey browser extension. Boom, there it is. $52.56 in savings. Okay, and just for fun, let's try with a fancy meal now. DoorDash.com. Click on Honey. Yeah, I guess you could say this is the happiest I've ever been eating delivery. Add the browser extension today and buy pizza, delivery food, and pretty much anything else you can buy online at an absolutely absurd use her.
Attach you a rude. Now what I'ma do? I'ma just stick to the facts. Be so scared of my future.
Did y'all hear that motherfucking diss track Remy Mom did, man?
Foxy Brown found her way into the beef and posted a snippet of a diss track towards Remy, despite just giving birth to her daughter. The whole world waited anxiously for Nicki's official response, which finally came on March 10th. She responded with 3 singles with the help of Drake and Lil Wayne.
Cause I don't need no fraud. I don't need no drama when you call. I would've helped you out that pit you fell in. I am the generous queen. Ass Miss Ellen. Heard your pussy on yuck. I guess you needed a pat. I got before and after pictures of your surgery. The bitch gambled her career, now it's gonna be severe.
She wrote on Instagram, "Great diss records can't be lies. Great diss records are facts. But here at Young Money, we don't do diss records. We drop hit records and diss you on them. The greats took 3 months to respond to diss records. Queens don't move on peasant time. Queens shut down Paris. Then drop hits on Queen time. Been writing my own rap since I was 11. God knows. Next week, I'll beat Aretha Franklin for the most Hot 100 hits on Billboard by any woman in the world ever in the history of music. Stay in your bum ass place. Jealousy gets you nowhere. Now I got a countdown on my own for Shanae. You got 72 hours to drop a hit, and I'll give you $500,000 if you can book any show or interview without mentioning the Queen name." End quote. But people clown Nicki's singing ability and lyrics, saying that it wasn't her best work, and criticized the heavy use of auto-tune. Remy kept things going by performing Sheether that summer at Hot 97 Summer Jam, and brought out Queen Latifah, Young M.A., Lil Kim, MC Lyte, The Lady of Rage, and Cardi B to perform UNITY. And just a few days later, BET gave her the Best Female Hip Hop Artist Award, breaking Nicki's 6-year-long streak. And the crowd went wild.
Y'all some liars. It ain't no facts in your song. And yeah, that's coming back to the Bronx.
For the first time in Nicki's career, she was feeling the wrath of the public, and she was being treated the same way Lil Kim was treated when she first dissed her many years prior. Nicki didn't have many industry allies coming to her defense publicly, and every single thing she did or wore was scrutinized and memed on social media. Every person that secretly hated Nicki Minaj but was too afraid to say it publicly could now vocalize their disdain for her. This era was dubbed the Nicki hate train. Throughout the first half of the decade, there were a few female rappers poking their heads out and experiencing their own share of successes, but they didn't compare to the success of Cardi B. She rose to fame in 2013 for her comedic videos on Vine and Instagram. The Bronx native of both Trinidadian and Dominican descent was born Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar. With her younger sister name being Hennessy, she took on the stage name Cardi B as a derivation of it. She joined the cast of Love and Hip Hop.
I just want to jump in and say, it's Cardi from the Bronx. Is that how you say it? It's Cardi from the Bronx.
Few mixtapes that landed her a couple of viral hits. But in 2017, her song Bodak Yellow took her career over the top and launched her into the mainstream. The single topped the US Billboard Hot 100 chart for 3 consecutive weeks, making Cardi the second female rapper to reach #1 with a solo song, following Lauryn Hill's doo-wop That Thing in 1998. Most female rappers ran to congratulate her on this achievement, but people put most of the pressure on Nicki to congratulate Cardi, which she eventually did. The women never really spoke of each other, but to the public, they appear to be cordial. But then rumors about there being bad blood between the two.
See, this is when I think it's a bafflement thing, is because like the industry is just kind of like in how it is in employment, in certain employment sometimes. It's like they want you to bow down to a certain person in order to be accepted. It's like, what if I just want to come into society and not be obligated to bow down to a God in order to be accepted? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think some of them come into the game and say, well, I'm the queen now. And then you let that fame get to your head. And then you're talking about, oh, the next person get into hip hop who wants to express their art, that they gotta, they gotta pay respects to me, or they gotta show me. I think there's a different way of paying people respects, like giving them honor, and then that's it. I'm not gonna kiss no tail. I'm just as equally want to be as talented as you, and I want to grow as you. But I do agree that you shouldn't kiss nobody's tail. You know what I'm saying? But also do things with grace and be humble. You know what I'm saying? Because we sometimes don't understand that there's a such thing as time. And in time, things change. And sometimes we say things, and I like that about us because we're human and we need to learn from those. But then also, we want to be wise to teach others that come after us. You know what I'm saying? What it means to when you got to be careful about the things that you say sometimes, because they say it can come back to bite you. It really can. So we all have to be careful with how we move our tongue, because like the Bible say, your tongue, your mouth is like a whole ship. It could be turned about and twisted about. You know what I'm saying? It takes off. It's like its own body, its own part, its own instrument. It's its own part of the whole body. So you know what I'm saying? You got to control it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're on the boat and you're the captain, you have to know how to steer, be able to know how to control that wheel that you're steering. So let's get back to it. This is Alicia Intellectual Talks. Hopefully, if you all are not here now, that you'll come back and you'll enjoy this video. It's kind of long, but check it out. I think it's doing very well right now. Peace.
Cardi B and Lil Kim out on stage in March 2017 at the height of her feud with Nicki. Even Cardi didn't experience mainstream, only saw this moment as an OG showing love to her. In August that year, Nicki appeared on London on the Track single No Flags alongside 21 Savage and Offset, who Cardi started dating earlier in the year. On the track, she raps about labels trying to make another version of her.
I heard these labels trying to make another me. Everything you getting, little is cause of me.
Nicki denied the verse being about Cardi on Twitter, and a month later, Cardi denied the beef rumors on The Breakfast Club. Both women appeared on the same song not too long after, titled Motorsport. Heavily, Cardi and Nicki grew frustrated with the comparisons and rumors. Cardi told Complex, "I feel like people wouldn't even be satisfied if me and her was on a freaking photo. I feel like people just want that drama because it's entertaining." Cardi was asked again in another interview about their relationship, but this time she seemed hesitant to speak on the subject, but revealed that she took issue to Nicki's original verse on Motorsport, where she mentioned her name. So Nicki was asked to alter the verse. Nicki posted a cryptic tweet following the interview that said, "The corniest thing you can be is ungrateful. Give thanks." Then she went on to discuss the creation process of the song in a series of tweets. But then things kind of cooled off, and both rappers were focusing on their own projects. Cardi's critically acclaimed debut album, Invasion of Privacy, arrived in spring 2018 with commercial success across the world. It became the first album in music history to have all of its tracks certified platinum or higher, with both Bodak Yellow and I Like It being Diamond Records for selling more than 10 million copies. And it went on to break numerous streaming records. During the promotional cycle, Cardi claims that the alleged beef between her and Nicki was orchestrated by the fans.
There's people who have, I don't know the whole story, but somehow you and Nicki Minaj got pitted against each other. And then you often talk about sneak dissing. So unpack that for me. Is there something between you and Nicki, or is that just internet made up?
I just feel like it's really internet made up. Like I really feel like fans and people, they really want to see that happen because it's really entertaining. To see people beef is entertaining. Like I am going from when Nicki and Remy was beefing. Everybody
Can we just say that Cardi B's pink, the pink that she has on, is so cute. I like how they put the two pinks together. I just wanted to mention that.
Hi, I'm Coach at CA, and you got you
Made up. Like I really feel like fans and people, they really want to see that happen because it's really entertaining. To see people beef is entertaining. Like I am going from when Nikki and Remy was beefing, everybody was tuning in like,
On it,
oh, what's
on it.
next? What's
Yeah.
next? What's next? But I don't really have the time for that. Like it's like if you ain't my man, or if you're not taking my money from me, you're not stopping my money, then I don't really give a about you. People just want to pin it so much because it's entertainment, but they don't want to handle their own beef. And I spoke to her before in person, just like we're talking right now, like this close to each other. So it's just like I always say, like, I don't ever want nobody sneak this in me. I'm not the type of person that if there's something that you could talk it out, you could talk it out, because it's not always rah 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 this, rah 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 that, because we grown. Unless you want to take it to the rah rah this, rah rah that. But other than that, it's just like I just feel like fans just keep doing it. Like they just keep doing it.
Unfortunately, both female rappers let it manifest into real life drama. Following the release of Invasion of Privacy, Nicki prepared for her next album and released the two singles Chun Li and Barbie Tings. While promoting the new music, she revealed to Zane Lowe that she felt that Cardi hadn't shown her real genuine love.
You know, with Cardi B, she's done exactly what she should have done. You know, she's just gone full steam ahead, and congratulations to her. The only thing with Cardi that really hurt my feelings was the first interview she did after Motorsport came out. I remember, like, when I first came, if a female of that stature had done a feature with me on it, I would only be, singing their praises and saying thank you. The first interview she did after Motorsport came out, it just me because she looked so aggravated and angry, and the only thing she kept saying was, "Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that verse. I didn't hear that verse. She changed her verse." Like, I was like, "What?" I remember when I first did a song with Trina for the first time. That's why to this day I love Trina, because she is the first female rapper I think that acknowledged me behind the scenes and said, I want you to be on my album. Till this day, you've never heard me speak ill of Trina just because of that. Um, and so her most recent interview, Cardi, that's when I just came back on Instagram and I saw it and I felt good. I finally felt like she said something genuinely nice, about me. But with Motorsport, I kind of felt ambushed. I felt like Quavo at that time was like, Quavo is my baby. I love her. And at the time I went on Twitter and I explained how Motorsport came about. And people were saying that I was lying. So I texted Quavo and I said, "Hey, just could you back me up on this? Because I don't want people to think I'm lying. What do I have to lie about?" And he didn't back me up. And he texted me. He was like, I would go on Twitter and back you up if you were my girl. LOL. And that hurt because he's somebody, like, I love him. It hurt my feelings to know that people would watch me be slaughtered, and not one person will step in to say the truth. They will run with that lie because it's can I have some water, please? They'll allow people to run with the lie because it's entertaining to make Nicki seem like a bad guy. And it's sad. And he texted me and he said, "Okay to put Cardi on it?" And I still have the text in my phone. where, yeah, let's do it. And that's the only story. I said exactly how it came about. All of them allowed me to look like I lied. And, even with this, she's using my hairdresser now. So even he can attest to the fact, Tokyo, he knows that there really was a scheduling conflict and it was because of him. He's the one that couldn't show up. And I texted him, I said, that if I don't show up the day she's shooting, they're going to act like it's because I'm doing it to be mean, with the current Nikki hate train. And he wasn't able to come, he had something to do, and that's fine. So I had to shoot on another day. They all knew that, especially if you're using my hairdresser now. He can attest to that. And you still did interviews, and y'all all still jumped around that, and just to paint Nikki as the bad person. The first thing out of your mouth when someone asks you about a Nicki Minaj feature is, she changed her version. Excuse me? It's because of the Nicki hate parade.
Nicki then tweeted, "How can you say someone changed their verse and forget to say Quavo told me to remove my singing part, which I loved, and Atlantic told me to remove your name from my verse per your request. So how were those changes gonna happen if I didn't change my verse?" End quote. But a month later at the Met Gala, both women posed for pics at the event to kill the critics. Somehow, a few months later, the feud was back on. They continue to go back and forth on social media and on Nicki's radio show.
I didn't know Cardi and I had an issue, but I guess we do since you're saying it, and other people are saying it. To me, she may have taken an issue with things that I've said, but I'm not going to bite my tongue. I mean, this is right. You gotta have thick skin. People talk shit about me all the time. I don't go around and tell people, oh, stop posting me because I see one bad thing about myself. You can't expect to be liked and loved and praised all the time.
Look, I'm used to it,
Nicki Minaj's fourth studio album, Queen, was released in August 2018. Though the album got generally positive reviews, it didn't receive the same high accolades and critical reception of her previous albums. It also got blocked from the #1 spot because of the second week sales of Travis Scott's album. And Nicki's critics were delighted to see her sales and popularity declining with the rise of Cardi B. Then the unthinkable happened a few weeks later in September. Videos started making rounds on the internet showing Cardi throwing high heels and attempting to fight Nicki at the Harper's Bazaar Icons party during New York Fashion Week.
New footage of the fight is surfacing. You can see Cardi stumbling across the hallway, held back by her security team. Suddenly, she lunges for Nicki, who is shielded by her security team. Moments later, there's Cardi undoing her shoe, then throwing it at Nicki.
Cardi ended up getting a knot on her eyebrow while being detained by security and left the party with a ripped dress and no shoes. She claims it was all over a tweet Nicki allegedly liked on Twitter regarding her parenting. Though this wasn't a good look for Cardi, people focused their attention on Nicki, clowning her for standing behind security and doing nothing, despite having a combative persona. Both women continue to go back and forth on social media and in songs.
Something so mortifying and so humiliating to go through in front of a bunch of upper echelon, and it's not about white or black. It's about upper echelon people who are, people who have their lives together. The way they passed by looking at this disgusting commotion, I will never forget. I was mortified. I was in Alexander Vautier gown, okay, off the motherfucking runway, okay, and I could not believe how humiliated it all felt, because we, and I use we loosely, and I'm gonna clarify, we see how we made ourselves look. Because she has built her career off of sympathy and payola. Refers to you black women. Oh, we got the receipts for that too. FYI, she refers to black women as monkeys and roaches. Roaches! And what happens is, first of all, let's get up a 1-800 number for postpartum depression. You just had the biggest blessing of your life with a child, and in 2 weeks, you have attacked 3 women?
This is my thing, Nicki Minaj, right? How you saying that I got ragged by Riley when there is so many footages of that night, every single angle, and where am I getting ragged at? Why would I be here sitting in line like, oh yeah, I did this, I did that, knowing that the next day there's gonna be so much footages of that same night? And second of all, how you say that I was the wild animal, that I attacked you, that you was mortified, that you was humiliated, playing the victim, but now you're the gangster. You need to pick a side. Do you want to be the victim or do you want to be the gangster? You lie so much you can't even keep up with your fucking lies. First you're saying that you got the footage, your cameraman got the footage, but now you're talking about you want to pay somebody $100,000 if they give you the footage. Yo, makes when you talking. I thought you was the victim. I know what there's footage of. You standing on the wall talking about, I'm standing right here. Miss Chung Lee, the street fighter. You go on your Twitter and you start liking shit like this. You start liking shit like this. Endorsing that type of nasty behavior. Bitch, you're fucking sick in the head. Now you're trying to say that I'm trying to stop your bag because 21 Savage didn't do a music video with you. Sis, I'm not even that close to that man. So what you need to do is stop focusing on other people, focus on yourself and focus on your craft because you're out here fucking up your legacy looking like a fucking hater.
Until this day, they still continue to do spiteful things to get under each other's skin. For example, Nicki cast the 2 sisters who filed charges against Cardi in her music video. And Cardi poked fun at the fact that Nicki's husband is a registered offender and not allowed to be around children.
After all that surgery, you are still ugly. And that is what gets me. I sell her mind. I got condos in that cage.
While Cardi has gotten into her fair share of social media falling outs with many others, it was Nicki who got the most flack for even feuding with a younger new artist and even entertaining drama. People taunted her with Cardi's achievements that included #1 singles and Grammy Awards, things Nicki hadn't even accomplished by that time. The same thing people did to Lil' Kim on behalf of her. Since then, Nicki shaded or feuded with other popular young female rappers, including the City Girls, Coi Leray, Lotto, and Megan Thee Stallion, who collaborated with Cardi B, so Nicki retaliated by showing love to Tory Lanez and referred to her as insulting names like Bigfoot and Horse. People were constantly calling Nicki out for many hypocrisies, like criticizing Cardi for being Latina using the N-word, despite her numerous collaborations with Tekashi 69, accusing Remy Ma of plastic surgery shaming her, despite doing the same in lyrics, lashing out at Travis Scott for bundling merch with his album to increase the sales, despite doing the same herself. And doing to the new girls the very same thing she criticized Lil' Kim for, despite being an older industry veteran and being years ahead of them. Nicki has established herself as one of the best rappers that ever touched the industry and the reigning female rapper of the 2010s. But her petty antics have tainted her image and lowered her celebrity status. For example, cursing people out on her radio show, collaborating with bloggers who hate on her rivals, attacking and doxing journalists on social media, and encouraging her fans to harass anyone who dares to criticize her. Lotto dubbed her the 40-year-old bully, and this turned into a viral hashtag. But she's not the only one. Azealia Banks' notorious online nastiness and feuds with any and every person under the sun contributed to her career stalling before it could even start. Cardi B and a few lesser-known female rappers also involve themselves in social media squabbles frequently. But these days, the girls rather put it on the timeline instead of in the music. No matter how you feel about any of these femcs mentioned in this video, they've all contributed to the legacy of female hip-hop, experienced their own successes, and broke records. That's all I have for this video, but I would like to know, which female rap feud had you invested the most for
Thank you all for coming. This is Alicia Intellectual Talks, Unpopular Conversation. I hope you all enjoyed those beefs, you know, seeing the women of color in hip hop, seeing all the relevance that is of today of what's happening right now, and where these girls are going and how we see the young girls moving forward. We don't want to continue to see repetitive beefs. We want to see people, if you're going to be beef on your pad, and let me see how you can get at me on your pad, how you write. Let me see how you can be fluent. Let me see how you can divide what is the length and the width and the depth of the word of God in your raps. You know, other things other than exploitation, other things other than just because what they do is they teach you how to make fun of each other to make it entertaining for others. When literally you're not even really literally beefing with each other. You're just doing it in a ways to give entertainment to people who just praise you as if you're an idol. So there's just a lot of things how we got to come at these things, and I think that's why a lot of musicians get destroyed early. Why some people don't have longevity. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have to at the beginning and all day is unite. This is Alicia again, Alicia Intellectual Talks. Peace.